Hey guys, welcome to my 2-flat. Let's go take a look.
Hey guys, this is Andrew. It's another day and another deal. And this happens to be Lori's property, or she's hoping it'll be. So a lot of you guys know Lori. Lori's been working with me how long now?
Going on 6 years, I think.
6 years, right? And so basically for 5 years, 8 months, she was sleeping. Over 4,000 properties bought by people from Mastery in the last 4 years or so. And Lori's like, well, one day she wakes up finally about 2.5 months ago, and she did her first deal. It's just getting done. And now she's an official crack addict. In real estate, it means, you know, for the crack addict, they need a next hit. For real estate investors, you want the next deal. So Lori, what's with this 2-flat?
Everyone in Mastery is always talking about, like, let's get a 2-flat. We got to get 2-flats, the best money makers out there, all that stuff. Well, I want to be involved too. I don't want to be left out.
So what are you buying this for?
170.
170. Okay. Do you have the money?
No.
No. Okay. Where do you intend to get the money?
Hoping private money.
Hoping private money. Maybe Miss Mary, right? Hopefully. Okay.
I can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but your numbers are going to be, what was your numbers have to be right on, right? So what was your rehab budget when you looked at the property or you looked at the numbers before?
I was shooting for 30.
30, okay? So she's like, Andrew, this is a really, really good. I'm like, Lori, I don't want to go. But she's like, no, it's perfect. All I need to do is plumbing on a 2-flat. All I need to do is electrical on a 2-flat. And maybe some tuck pointing on a 2-flat. And by the way, they mentioned something about a roof on a 2-flat. So let's kind of walk through, figure out whether she is actually on the money or if she's dreaming. And when we get back to the office, we'll look at the numbers, what happens, because she cannot afford to make a mistake. So we need to, and especially my ego is on the line here. So let's kind of walk through, let's look at some of the things. I'll point out a few things and then we'll go back and do the numbers. Is it a deal or is it a no deal? Okay, so we're in the 2-flat and we're kind of walking through. If you look at some of the floors and everything, superficially, if you see the property, it looks great. But think about one of the things that the village said. We want you to update electrical. What does update electrical mean in a property like this where it's all plaster walls? We have to rip out everything and update the whole thing. The other thing is, I don't know if we can get it in the camera angle, is the issue with the roof up there. And then it's not just contained in this area. I'm going to show you guys in the other room, it's a similar sort of issue. Now mind you, this has 2 other bedrooms here. So it's 3 bedrooms upstairs and 2 on the main floor. The other bedroom is down there. And then there's that same issue that shows up on the roof again. So clearly it's not just an issue that we're going to run into at a, kind of a single place in the property. Kitchen looks pretty good. Most of this kitchen here is pretty savable. And then if we look at the kind of back porch, a lot of times these things can have problems in these properties, but the back porch is in good condition. If we look outside, neighbors are nice. The roof on the garage is pretty good. I am concerned. So in this particular property, I want to point out one more thing. So let's go outside and we'll point out one more thing that's a key thing. So remember, the big thing is going to be plumbing, electrical, and then on the exterior, it's going to be the tuck pointing. So we're going to show you a shot out there, and then the other thing is the roof. When we get back to the office, we're going to do our numbers and see, is this a deal for Lori or is this a no deal? So we're back in the office, and I had said we're going to go look at the numbers. So what the hell were you thinking?
I thought it was a good deal.
So the deal is this, right? This number I agree with. Let me put the permanent marker down. So this number makes sense in terms of if that's the lowest amount that she can get the property for. This number makes sense. This number makes sense. This number makes sense. Ballpark. This is pretty good, and this is going to be a little bit lighter. The number that doesn't, I think, that where she's going to get in trouble with is probably this one. And the reason is this, it's Cicero. They said bring electrical up to date, bring plumbing up to date. They might as well say that just basically tear out all of that stuff and redo it. And if they make her redo that, plus the tuck pointing up front and the roof about 10 grand, ballpark, tuck pointing going to be about $4,000, $3,000 to $4,000, and then electrical, plumbing, rest of the stuff you have to touch. I just feel that this is light. I think minimum this is going to be maybe about $40,000. So you have a long lost uncle that has money.
I could try to find one,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's possible.
So here's the deal, right? As such, for anybody who can put down about 20% in this transaction, so 20% of a $200,000 transaction would be about $35,000 to $40,000. So if somebody doesn't mind having $35,000 to $40,000 invested in this property all day long, you're going to make a minimum of $750 to $800. So think about this. You're investing about $40,000 in the transaction, and every single month you're going to make about $350 or $800. Sorry, $750 to $800. Is that a good deal? Yeah, numbers make sense all day long because you're going to make about a 25% return on the whole, about 22, 23% return. So it makes sense. The problem is, given Lori's situation, she has one property, she has a good chunk of school debt still, so she needs a transaction where the margins of equity are really, really, really wide. This, Rahul could afford to do it. He's sitting there in the office working on stuff. Could he afford to do it? Yes. But can she afford to do it today? No, I don't think so. Now, on the other hand, this is a property that will work for Anant. So on our way back, as we were talking about it, I mentioned it to Anant, and he's like, man, I'll take it all day long. I'm like, of course you will. Why? Because all these numbers work. He's okay having some money invested in the property as long as he gets a good return. So for her, no, but for Anant, it's a deal. So sometimes when we do a deal or no deal, some deals may work for you and they may not work for somebody else, and vice versa. Hopefully you learned something. Watch out for more.